Hello students, we are studying English grammar and the topic for today is clauses. In the previous part we have learnt about phrases. So in this part let us carry on with clauses. A clause is different from a phrase. Let us first recall what is a phrase. As we have seen in the last video, a phrase is a group of words. A phrase does not have a subject and a verb, and a phrase does not make complete sense. Now here we can see that a clause is different from a phrase. That means at least one of these things should not be applicable in case of a clause. Let us read the sentence ahead. A clause has a subject and a predicate and a finite verb. That means in case of phrases, as we have seen, in case of phrases we don't have subject and verb, but in case of clauses we do have subject, predicate and finite verb. So this part is not applicable for a clause. Let us read ahead. If a clause can stand on its own, then it is a sentence. Now we have seen that in case of phrases, a phrase does not make complete sentence. A phrase does not make complete sense. But here, stand on its own means it makes complete sense. So if we read a group of words and if we can understand them completely, then it is called as stand on its own. So in case of clauses, if clauses can stand on its own, then it is a sentence. So we can say that a sentence is a type of clause. Now there are different types of clauses on the basis of whether they can stand on their own or whether they can't stand on their own. Now there are two types of clauses. The first type can stand on their own. The second type cannot stand on their own. So if they can stand on their own, we call them a sentence or we call them main clause, or we call them principal clause. But if they cannot stand on their own, that means when we cannot understand the complete meaning of the clause, then such clauses are called dependent clauses, or they are also called as subordinate clauses. I hope you have understood this. Let us move ahead and look at some examples. Let us read this sentence. The spectators were delighted that the match was not cancelled. Now the meaning of this sentence is that the audience were happy because they knew that the match was not cancelled. Now in this sentence, if we read it till delighted, the spectators were delighted, this means the audience were happy. So this part of the sentence makes complete sense. We are able to understand the meaning completely. It is a complete sentence. So such group of words or such clauses are called as main clause or principal clause. Now the next part of the sentence, that the match was not cancelled. When we read this part does not make us understand the complete meaning of the sentence. So this part is called as dependent clause, or dependent clauses are also called as subordinate clause. A dependent clause has to take help of the main clause to give us complete sense. I hope you have understood. Let us move ahead. Okay, so these are 8 sentences. Let us try to find out what are principal clauses in each of these sentences and what are dependent clauses. So let us read the first one first. It is already done. The statue was so badly damaged that it could not be sold. So the statue was so badly damaged. This group of words is making a complete sense. We are able to understand it completely. So this is the principal clause, PC. The next part, that it could not be sold. So this part is not making complete sense, and this is depending on the first part. Only when we read the first part, then we will be able to understand the second part. So this part is dependent on the principal clause. So this part is the dependent clause, DP. Let us move ahead. Shreya is taking piano lessons from a lady who lives in the neighborhood. Now when we read this till here, Shreya is taking piano lessons. This makes complete sense to us. So this is the principal clause. When we read the next part of the sentence, from a lady who lives in the neighborhood, we cannot understand completely. What about the lady? Who is the lady? What from the lady? So when we read this, we cannot understand the complete sentence. So this part is the dependent clause, DP. Let us read the third one. The visitors enjoyed the show which was specially planned for them. So in this sentence, the visitors enjoyed the show makes complete sense. So this is the principal clause, which was specially planned for them. This is the dependent clause. Let us move ahead. Father was pleased to know that Riya had stood first in the class. Now here father was pleased to know. This is a complete sentence. So this is the principal clause. That Riya had stood first in the class is not complete. This is incomplete. So it is dependent clause. We bought the book that was published last week. Here we bought the book is the principal clause. That was published last week is the dependent clause. The watchman locked up the gates after all the people had left the building. So in this sentence, the watchman locked up the gates is the principal clause. After all the people had left the building is the dependent clause. Vikram was working on his project until his parents came home. In this sentence, Vikram was working on his project is the principal clause, and until his parents came home is the dependent clause. The judge was convinced that the prisoner was guilty. So here the judge was convinced is the principal clause. That the prisoner was guilty is the dependent clause. Now I hope you have understood how to differentiate between principal clause and dependent clause. So let us move ahead and see different types of clauses. So clauses can be divided into three types: adjective clause, noun clause, and adverb clause. Let us look at each of these clauses one by one. Let us look at adjective clauses first. So adjective clauses are subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses means dependent clauses. So adjective clauses are dependent clauses that function as adjective in a sentence. Now what is an adjective? An adjective tells us more about a noun. So if there are a group of words which tell us something more about the noun, then those group of words is called as adjective clauses. Adjective clauses are also known as relative clauses. Let us see some examples of adjective clauses. Mohit is going to join the gym which was opened recently. Now here which was opened recently is telling us something more about the gym. And what is gym? Gym is a noun. So these group of words are telling us something more about the noun. That means these group of words are adjective clauses. The teacher was very patient with the students who had not understood the lessons. Now, who had not understood the lessons tells us something more about the students, and students is a noun. So, in this sentence, who had not understood the lesson is an adjective clause. Adjective clauses are generally introduced by the relative pronouns like who, whose, whom, which, that, and relative adverbs when and where. So whenever we want to differentiate, whenever we want to find out which clauses are adjective clauses, we have to be sure we have to learn these words: who, whose, whom, which, that, when, and where. So we are supposed to learn these words to pinpoint adjective clauses. Let us move ahead to the next type of clauses, noun clauses. Noun clauses are subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses means dependent clauses that function as noun in a sentence. Now I want to remind you that in a sentence, subject and object both are nouns. So whenever some group of words act as a subject or when they act as an object, those words are noun clauses. Let us see some examples. The lawyer thought that his client was telling him the truth. Now in this sentence, the lawyer is the subject, thought is the verb. What did the lawyer think? क्या सोचा lawyer ने? Lawyer ने ये सोचा that his client was telling him the truth. So here this entire group of words is acting as an object. An object is a noun. So this group of words is a noun clause. The shopkeeper asked the customer if he wanted a carry bag. Now here asked is the verb. लेकिन क्या पूछा shopkeeper ने? Shopkeeper asked if he wanted a carry bag. So here this is acting as an object. So here this part is a noun clause. A noun clause is generally introduced by words like that, if, whether, and WH questions like what, who, where, when. So whenever we want to mark noun clauses, we should remember these words thoroughly. They will help us to decide which clauses are noun clauses. Let us move ahead to the next type. The next type is adverb clause. Adverb clauses are subordinate clauses. Again, that means they are dependent clauses that function as adverbs in a sentence. Adverbs are the words which tell us something more about the verb. They tell us how the verb is done. So let us look at some examples. Naveen was talking to his brother while they were having their dinner. So here talking is the verb. So how was Naveen talking? कैसे बात कर रहे थे? क्या करते हुए बात कर रहे थे? So Naveen was talking to his brother while they were having their dinner. So this is telling us कि talking कैसे हुई. So these group of words tell us about the verb. So this group of words is an adverb clause. We have not heard from Aman after he moved to Bhopal. So here heard is the verb. After he moved to Bhopal, that means जब अमन भोपाल चला गया तब से हमने उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं सुना. So this group of words after he moved to Bhopal tells us something more about heard. कब से नहीं सुना? जब से वो भोपाल चला गया. So this group of words are acting as adverb clause. Adverb clauses begin with subordinate conjunctions. We will study about subordinate conjunctions in the later chapters, but here remember the conjunctions while, after, as soon as, since, where, whenever, although, even if. So remember these conjunctions. Whenever a clause starts with any of these conjunctions, that clause has to be an adverb clause. Okay, so that's all for today's class. What you have to remember is remember the words from which each of the clauses start, from which adjective clause, noun clause or adverb clause starts. If you remember all those starting words, then telling the difference between these three clauses will be very easy for you. So students, that's all for today. Thank you. See you again in the next video.